we're missing one commissioner. Commissioner Bazzetti may come later, and we have Commissioner Ashbrook on the telephone today. All right.
Yes, sir. The first order of business today is ordinance number 526, which is our ad valorem taxes. The first item needs to be done is to call for a public hearing. Mayor, to see if you have anybody here from the public that wants to speak on it.
Tim, you got anything to say?
Nothing.
I guess we're doing okay. Everybody agrees what we're doing, and nobody's showing up, right? All right.
So we have nobody from here talking, so the next thing would be to call for a motion for a first reading of ordinance number 526, Mayor.
All right, call for that motion. Motion by Commissioner Thursby, have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Lowry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. We're going to read it in its entirety for us tonight, Mayor. Ordinance number 526, an ordinance of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida, levying the ad valorem property tax millage rate for municipal purposes on all taxable property within the city for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2016 and ending September 30, 2017, stating that the percentage by which the millage levied is negative 1.8% less than the rollback rate and providing an effective date. Whereas Florida law requires the City Commission of the City of Port St. Joe to pass an ordinance or resolution levying the millage rate for ad valorem property tax for municipal purposes on all taxable property within the city limits of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2016 and ending September 30, 2017. Whereas Florida law requires said ordinance or resolution to state the millage rate to be levied and also to state the percentage by which the millage rate is greater, equal to, or less than the rollback rate as computed pursuant to Florida law. And whereas the City Commission of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida has duly considered the budgetary requirements of the city, has adopted a tentative budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2016 and ending September 30, 2017, based on a millage rate of 3.5914 mills on the taxable property within the city and has acted in accordance with the terms, provisions, and procedures contained in Section 200.065 of the Florida statutes. Now, therefore, it be acted by the people of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida, in special session assembled that the ad valorem property tax millage rate for municipal purposes to be levied on the taxable property within the city limits of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida during the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2016 and ending September 30, 2017 is hereby set at the rate of 3.5914 mills. The percentage by which this millage rate to be levied is less than the rollback rate of 3.6574 mills by 1.80%. This ordinance shall be effective October 1, 2016, and it will be duly passed and adopted by the Board of City Commissioners of Port St. Joe, Florida on the 21st day of September 2016. So Mayor, this had consent your millage rate if you adopt it on the 21st, keeping the millage the same as what you had in the previous year.
Jim, was there a typo in that number 2?
Yes, sir. That's why I was just looking at that right. That's why I said less than. It's not actually, yes, that's just less than.
And we'll make those changes to it.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Yep. Okay, the next item is ordinance number 527. At this time, Mayor, you want to call for a public hearing to see if anybody wants to speak on the 2016-17 budget.
Anybody always wish to do so? All right. Everybody wishes.
And then this time, Mayor, we can call for a motion to adopt ordinance number 527, which is your budget for the 2016-17 year.
All right, we have a motion. So moved by Commissioner Thursby. I have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Lowry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, that's for the first reading. So now we're going to hold our first reading of ordinance number 527. An ordinance of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida, adopting the tentative budget for the fiscal year 2016-2017 as the final budget of the City of Port St. Joe, Florida for fiscal year 2016-17 and providing for an effective date. Whereas the Board of City Commissioners of the City of Port St. Joe has held 2 public hearings in accordance with 200.065 Florida statute beginning on September 7, 2016 and on September 21st, 2016. And whereas the board, after due consideration, is determined to adopt the amended tentative budget for fiscal year 2016-17, a summary of said final budget being attached hereto as Exhibit A and incorporated into here by reference. Therefore, is acted by the people of the city of Port St. Joe, Florida, that the tentative budget for the fiscal year 2016-17, a summary statement thereof, said final budget being attached as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference, is adopted in the final budget for the fiscal year 2016-17. And the effective date of the ordinance would be October 1, 2016, and duly passed and adopted by the Board of City Commissioners, if it so wishes, on the 21st day of September 2016. And from here, Mayor, what you're looking at is we will send the completed ads to the newspaper. They will be published in the Star on the 15th, so we'll be getting that information to the paper this week. And then it'll come back before you on the 21st for final adoption.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to say one thing regarding the budget. This would be basically for everyone that's at home, who couldn't make it to tonight's budget meeting. At home, a lot of times in life, we have to tighten our belt up, cut back where needed. And I want to commend the board and the people at home, the people on our staff. We went into this budget this year, I think with Jim, if I'm not wrong, it was $180,000 less than we had last year. Am I correct in saying that? What was the final number on that?
I believe it was somewhere around 90 or 100,000, somewhere around 100,000.
$100,000 less than we had last year. We've got more to do this year than we had last year. So we had to do a lot of chopping on our budget, our wish list, but because we all work so hard together, and I think we got a good team, we were able to keep the taxes the same rate. And I appreciate everybody working hard on that.
What else, Jim?
Nothing else, Mayor, unless y'all got any questions for us?
Anybody have any questions?
Motion
All right,
to
it's
adjourn.
time for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, thank y'all. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, have a good evening.